talk about the other quarterback in this game, guys. After a quick word from PrizePicks, we make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right gets you paid. Don't miss out on any of the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both. There's no better time to jump in on the action. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineup after you play your first $5. PrizePicks, it's good to be right.
And by the way, assuming he wants me, maybe he doesn't, I am willing to join this live watch party, Mike.
Oh!
I am willing to join this live watch party with two. Potty. I'm willing to join this potty. There's 2 rules that I have to be able to curse, and there has to be food.
We gotta.
If you give me cursing and food,
so now if they tell you no, that means we don't want both parties.
Exactly. No.
You see how you phrased that? That was
Steve,
funny.
I'm in with food and cursing.
Well, Steve said no cursing, but it'll get you food. So you got to think on that.
So it's 50-50. I mean, are you going to sell out your principles?
Both think on it. We'll decide after the show.
Bull's the highest paid guy on the show. He should buy everyone food.
Right.
Let me ask you this: are we? Because I honestly don't know the answer to this. Are we on any kind of a delay?
That's a good question.
People watching us as we're saying it, they're hearing us.
There is a delay
It's
on
like
YouTube.
a 7-second delay.
Okay, so you could technically employ.
We don't have a dump button.
We don't have a dump
We don't have a
stream.
dump button.
No, you just would need an interrupt, right, Steve? You'd need a tone interrupt.
VMix does not have the ability to.
And here's
we don't have an audio guy. I mean.
And you don't want to so say for instance you curse and then you do 200,000 live streams.
Yeah.
And then they demonetize your stream.
Yeah.
They're gonna go crazy.
Yes.
They're gonna go ham.
All right, guys, we got 2 other topics to get to before we talk a little Cavs, and then we pivot over to WKYC. But Geno Smith is currently tied for the league lead right now in interceptions. He's thrown 13, which is tied with Tua for the most in football. Sam Darnold has 10. Joe Flacco and Josh Allen, after he threw 2 last night, are tied for 4th with 9. Dustin,
yes,
I want you to tap into your defensive back expertise here. How can the Browns defense, which has done a good job of forcing turnovers of late, bait Geno into coughing the ball up a couple more times on Sunday?
Well, he's going to be looking at every play where 95's at, and that's going to create a lot of distraction for him. A lot of focus will be on other areas. You know, he's not going to be as locked in as he'll be able to if he were not playing against 95. So, you know, like last night. Did you guys watch the Bills game last night?
I did.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, so Josh Allen loses like both his tackles. He's got like makeshift offensive line. He was getting hammered by
Anderson,
by Houston, and Will Anderson was a monster. My God,
that guy's
so good, man. But point is, like, he was seeing ghosts last night.
He was,
and I think that will be the case for Geno on Sunday. And I love Geno, and there's not been a bigger fan of Geno Smith in the history of the world.
Draft coming out
than this guy right here. So, but I've already been proven right about him, so it doesn't matter at this point.
Right, but he doesn't. He's not the same player he's been the last few years.
Of course he's not. But I'm still proven right though.
Yeah,
he turned out to be a legitimate starter.
I give you, he was a legitimate starter for a
solid
number of years.
6 years.
But I don't know what's happened to him this year. I know the talent around him isn't great, but he's played really terribly. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I mean, like, Myles playing at this level that he's at is a big reason why the Browns have been getting turnovers. Because even if he doesn't directly cause the turnover,
he's still peeking out of his eyes.
He's forcing quarterbacks to throw it before they want to throw it.
Exactly. You know, you're always worried you're going to get hit by Myles Garrett more than any other player in the league by a lot. So I think that's leading to some mistakes by quarterbacks, especially a guy who's been turnover prone already. If I'm the Raiders, and last week against Dallas, whose defense has been terrible most of this year, they were so pass heavy early, like even before the game got one-sided. If I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to establish the run early. They got a good back. I know his numbers aren't great, kind of like Judkins. It's not great numbers because their offensive line stinks. But, you know, that's what I would do. I would try to take, you know, it's easier said than done against the Browns.
Do the Browns have a better rush defense rank or pass defense rank? I think they're pretty similar. I think they're pretty similar.
No, they're number 1 against the pass in terms of yards per game.
Where are they on run defense?
I think they're middle of the pack.
We'll pull it up here in 1 sec.
If they are, Bull, then you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The way you open the passing lanes is to establish the running game.
Yeah.
And they've got a running back that can do that. I have to say.
Yeah, middle of the pack, 14th.
Yeah, that's surprising to me. I've been underwhelmed so far by Genty. I don't want to say I'm not labeling him a bust. I think he's suffering from the exact same thing that Judkins is suffering
Right.
from. When you've got 5 guys that block like McNuggets trying to open holes.
It's
Yeah.
true.
What are you supposed to do? It's been my number one thing all year is how are we possibly supposed to properly evaluate these offensive rookies? How do we do it?
It's harder. And
Smoke and mirrors?
I don't understand.
Yeah, you can trick things up, but like Mike Vrabel said, once you took away their trick plays, there was nothing to their offense.
I also think like sometimes coaches, I don't know, like why. I know Raheem Mostert's been a really good NFL player for a long time, but why are you bringing in Raheem Mostert on passing downs? He's 35 years old. This guy's a rookie.
Well, I don't think Genty's very good in pass pickup. And that was one of the knocks against him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
it's the same thing.
You got to have your best skilled players out on the field.
It's like the rookie for the Houston Texans.
Woody Marks.
Yeah, he's a good runner, but on third down, Nick Chubb comes in. And that's something that backs learn. The more they're in the NFL, the better they get at blitz pickup and just helping give the quarterback a little extra time. I'm sure Marks is going to be much better at it 2 or 3 years from now, but the backs that get good at it are the ones that want to be 3-down backs. They don't want to come off the field.
Sure.
Yeah, it's tough because, sometimes if you want to be a solid offense, you don't want to be in a predicament where you got a running back there where it's a passing down. For some of these bad teams,
it telegraphs what you're going to
do. Once you get back in a shotgun, there's not very many runs guys up front respect with shotgun. I mean, when last time you see somebody run draw? There's only a couple of things they can do. They can run a screen, but that's very obvious.
They run that delayed draw where the back stands next to the quarterback in the shotgun. But when you see him standing next to him, you know what could be coming.
So you know what's going on with that.
But getting back to the defense, do you guys expect Geno to turn it over?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing that gives you some. You say, how is it that you can make an evaluation on some of these young guys? Yeah, offensively it's a little tough, but the Browns defense gives you an opportunity to evaluate people because just like last week, the Browns couldn't get anything going, but every time the Ravens got on the field, they either took the ball away, they didn't really give up any big plays.
But it doesn't change what's happening on the field when the offense is out there. Like I can't really grade Dylan Gabriel. I can't really grade Shedeur Sanders because the offense is giving them very little time to set their feet and look downfield and go through their progressions.
But
everybody gets graded. It doesn't matter.
Hey, I'm not saying don't grade them. I agree with you.
It's harder.
We've got to evaluate based on what we see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and that's why so many of the top-tier quarterbacks, if you're drafted number 1 at a quarterback, guess what? You're going to a bad team.
I'll give you,
and so it's hard even then.
I'll give you an example. So we'll go back to, and I know this is about defense, but you want a defense that's engaged, that's excited, and that's going to give you an opportunity. The thing about offense is if the defense is going to give you a short field, it's a difference between 3 and 7. You put that 7 in, guess what? Now it's a different vibe. Now if I got 7 points, it's a different way that we can go about offensively attacking the team. I don't got to go up top all the time. I could mix it in and do some different things. And I'll give you this, as far as evaluation with players is, I'll go back to that first play that Baker Mayfield came in the game. Everybody remembers the Philly special, but what people don't realize is there was a play in which he threw a seam shot to Jarvis Landry that was almost like a back shoulder seam throw, and it put him in contention to be, it was like 30 yards down the middle of the field. They got in the red zone with that. They ended up putting it in, punching it in for a touchdown. But when you're evaluating people, there's a throw or two. Or there's an evaluation. There's a little. You're like, whoa! I ain't seen that.
It's the Cam Ward.
Yeah. That's one of them. Like, okay, we see. And when you do that, what happens is you open up the rest of the offense. So now Tyvis talked about it when we were watching the film. If you watch some of the defensive backs, for the Ravens. They were standing flat-footed. They was ready to jump on everything. Like they flat-footed. They got tight ends on outside getting guarded by DBs. That's easy money. So there's certain things that you got to do just to even put on tape to say, listen, don't be sneaking up here. I will throw this football deep. And if you can hit one of those or even get a pass interference, now it's in the back of their mind like, okay, we can't just have 10 people up here with Judkins. It's a difficult read, but those are the things that franchise quarterbacks are able to do, is make those plays and at least put it on tape.
Between both these teams this weekend, if I set the total turnovers at the over/under at 4.5. Would you take the over or the under?
I'd probably take the under on that.
Under.
It's both teams.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
your total.
I'll go 4 turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, 5 turnovers in a game by both teams is a lot. But I mean,
you said 3.5. I would have said over.
I would have too. I would say I can see 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can see 5.
I could see 5.
And if I will say
I'll
this.
set it at over 5.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
The over would
and
be
thinking the Browns aren't going
plus
to have
110.
Yes, right. and I will say, and I'll agree with this about the turnovers. If you tell me that Shedeur Sanders do not fumble, he did not have a turnover, and he don't throw a pick,
Oh, they'll win the game.
They win the
Easily.
game.
Easily.
It's a win. That's the crazy part about how good their defense
might
is
be
playing.
6-0,
But if he don't turn the football over,
Yeah.
I think that they're in they
I
can
would
win the
think
game.
the Raiders are going to have a hard time. I think both offenses are going to have a hard time sustaining long drives.
I just hope that if he plays well and doesn't turn the ball over, I pray that the Browns don't have an all-time Browns moment where it's like a special teams touchdown.
Don't you do it?
No, I'm not trying to.
No.
I know what you're saying,
No, I'm
though.
saying, but the Browns do that.
You know what I mean? They do that.
The defense has kept us in every game at halftime we've been in.
Yeah,
we've been in most of them through the third quarter because of the defense.
Did you guys see the clip, Cody Kessler?
Yes.
Talking yesterday.
I heard it. I didn't get
What
a
do you
chance
say?
to watch it.
It was cool. I mean, he talked about his first start
Yeah.
at the Dolphins game and how he played okay in that game and did well enough to win the game. They ended up missing a field goal.
Yep.
And so they lose. But I just hope that something like that doesn't happen to Shedeur.
Yeah.
In that
Because the
game,
Browns rookie
quarterbacks
hasn't won his first start
17 times.
at 17 straight.
That's one of the stats we're going to
Is
get
it? No,
to,
it's not
so-
just a rookie. Is it a rookie or just
First start.
first Brown start?
I think
Well,
it's rookies.
Oh.
Well, you'll see it in a sec.
All right.